Hello, Facebook world. How's it going? Hey, it's 12:30. That means you and I have an appointment. It's time to discuss it with Drake. So, can you believe we're on episode 47 already? Whoop whoop. Actually, something special for 50. What should I do for the 50th? I want to hear from you. What do you think I should do? Anyways, today's episode is a timely one. Not necessarily a fun one, but it's a timely one. It's everything you should know about property taxes because they're coming due. So just thought you should know. We'll talk a little bit about that. It is a quick one, but before we get started, just as a reminder, if you ever miss a live broadcast, just go over to YouTube, type in Drake's Real Estate TV. Please hit subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate that. Let's get started. So when you're preparing to become a homeowner, there are some things that you might not think about as far as costs of maintaining a home, and one of those is property taxes. So property taxes are easy to overlook when you're actually calculating your true bottom line. So local governments use property taxes to cover public services in the community, and property tax revenue goes towards schools, roads, police and fire departments primarily. So if you own a property, you have to pay property taxes, and that includes rental properties and properties that you might have inherited, as well as vacant land, believe it or not. So how are they calculated? Well, your property taxes are calculated based on the tax rate that is set up by the local government, and then your property's assessed value. So you use the assessed value of your home, you multiply it by your tax rate, and that becomes your owed property tax. So what is an assessed value? Well, the assessed value is just a term that can bring confusion to many people, right? So assessed value is actually not how much you can actually sell your house for, nor is it what you bought it for. Terms for those are market and appraised values. So the assessed value of a home or property is set actually by a property assessor in the local government. And it tends to be actually likely lower than market value, which is good because you pay less on your property taxes. So what is the property tax rate? Well, your property tax rate depends on where you live. States with the highest average property taxes include New Jersey, Illinois, and Vermont, where the lowest property taxes are actually in Hawaii, Alabama, and Colorado. So the national average effective property tax rate is actually about 1.1, which is very, very common for a home's value. So in Hawaii, it's actually like 0.3% of the home's value, okay? But of course, those values are crazy. In New Jersey, the property tax is 2.21. I'm not gonna talk about New Jersey. Don't know much about New Jersey, but never had a favorable view. Sorry about that, New Jersey. Anyways, so what to think about when you're buying a new house? Well, if you're searching for a new home, property taxes could be the last thing on your priority list, right? However, when you have to pay your first mortgage payment, that could seem a lot more relevant. You need to think about your monthly mortgage payments, what it will be, including your property taxes. So most financial advisors are going to tell you that your mortgage payment with your property taxes included should really be no more than about 25% of your take-home pay. If your property taxes will push you over that, when you're including your mortgage payment, well, maybe you should reconsider the house you're looking for, or possibly even the city or town. For example, you can go to a different town and move from a 2% to a 1% property tax rate, which is a big difference. And sometimes they're even in the same city. So make sure that you're doing your research. Just ask your realtor to check for your property taxes for that particular area. So how do you pay property taxes? Well, most people's mortgage payment includes their property tax as well as their homeowner's insurance. So that's preferable for the vast majority of homeowners because the bill is spread out over 12 months rather than paying a big bill coming due at the end of the year. So a lender will usually put the money into a separate account, like an impound account or an escrow account. Then they'll pay the property taxes that are due. So property taxes are estimated throughout the year, so you could have a refund, wouldn't that be nice? Or you could end up owing a little bit more. So even if your house is paid for, you still have to pay property taxes, and rather than the lender paying them, now it's up to you. If you don't pay your property taxes or get behind, that's a no-no, okay? So if you don't pay your property taxes on time, penalties can occur, and they will vary depending on where you live. But In addition to the risk of foreclosure, you may have to pay hefty penalties. And trust me, they can get pretty high from what I've seen. Finally, when you buy a home, you may be eligible for some other tax breaks related to your property taxes. For instance, you can deduct what you pay in property taxes when you file your federal income tax return, as long as you've paid by the deadline. Property taxes really aren't fun to think about, but they are a big piece of the puzzle when it comes to deciding where you live and how much house you can afford. And don't forget about all the fun propositions. Okay, those are big. We can talk about that another time. So that's really all I have for you today. I just want to hope you found it useful. Don't want to get too deep on that, because otherwise, yeah, I know, I see you. Anyways, just want to thank Realty Times for providing today's information. And as always, please don't keep me a secret. Would love to discuss your individual needs sometimes, so just give me a call, shoot me a text, whatever. And there's a topic you want me to cover, let me know. I'll add it to the calendar, and I hope you have a fantastic week. Please remember to be kind to one another. Don't forget to live, laugh, and love. Until we see each other again, when the next move matters, contact Drake for homes. All right, you guys. See you later. Take care.